Never in my years of battling have I ever encountered a battle quite like this. That is right, we're having ourselves another XMY Wi-Fi battle. Today we have a strictly UU battle with opponent subscriber slash follower named Josh. And it is a UU battle, however Josh does bring that Weavile, and Weavile is borderline, but hey, I don't really give a fuck, I'm not an anal asshole. Jirachi can bring an OU team, for that matter, I still would gladly fight him, so. Without further ado, let's get into this. This is one strange yet awesome battle. Josh is gonna lead off with Young God, I'm gonna lead off with Zubat. Turns out it's Noivern versus Noivern. I'm gonna Frisk, and he doesn't have Frisk, so he's this Infiltrator. And I'm not a gambler, ladies and gentlemen. I do not like to gamble for speed type, so I get the fuck out of here. But turns out he's gonna go for a Hurricane. He confidently stayed in and tested our speed tile, and he doesn't even go for Draco Meteor. I don't even have a Fairy type. I'm not really sure why, but kudos to Josh for staying in and landing his Hurricane. So he is going to send out his Galvantula now. Pretty awesome switch for him because he does get that free switch and pretty much land his sticky webs on the following turn. Can't really do too much to this Galvantula. I know my Body Slam or Iron Head is not even a 2-hit KO, but I wanted to stay in and just break his stash. Turns out he's not even going for sticky webs, he's going to go for a Thunder, but I am specially defensive, beefy as fuck, and I would eat up any of those attacks. Hurricane, even if it's critical, and of course Thunder. So luckily for me, I did not get paralyzed by that Thunder, so that's pretty sweet. And I broke his stash, so good enough. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm expecting you know, Thunder or even Sticky Webs. So he goes for Sticky Webs, fine choice. I do have the Rapid Spin here. I can easily go for Rapid Spin right now. However, I kind of feared that he might have just switched into his Ghost types to Spin Block me. But turns out he just stayed in, and I had Stone Edge, and he stays in yet again. Really funny there. So I guess he's done. He's just ready to sacrifice his Galvantula. So I took this opportunity to go for this Rapid Spin now because it's a little obvious for me to go Stone Edge, so I thought, well, Rapid Spin is not as obvious, and luckily he didn't switch out to any Ghost type, so I'm free from webs. However, my opponent's Galvantula is still living and breathing. He's not even going for Sticky Webs, he just wants to finish my Donphan with a Bug Buzz, but I eat it because I am a flying type. I said fire because I am going to go straight for the obvious Flamethrower. I'm not packing the Focus Blast, I'm packing the Flamethrower. So, I do, you know, hit this Florges, but, you know, Florges is like a behemoth of all special defenses, probably even more than my Jirachi, so. But speaking of Jirachi, I'm going to switch into, well, not even my Jirachi just yet, I'm going to switch into my own Galvantula, because I thought this thing would probably go for a Toxic, or a Wish, or, you know, whatever. As long as he didn't go for a Moonblast, I was free to just switch into my Galvantula. And if he does want to go kill me with Moonblast, he can do that. But I'm going to set up Sticky Webs, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any Defoggers or Spinners in this team. So I'm free to just go for Sticky Webs, and now I am just at peace of mind. So, but you know what, I want to preserve my Galvantula. So I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, get the fuck out of here. I'm going to bring out the Florges counter Jirachi. And he stays in and goes for Calm Mind, so yeah, unless this thing has like HP, Fire, or Ground, he's not really gonna do too much to me, you know, so I'm just gonna stay in, and I am specially defensive, so turns out he does get his Wish back, so we are fighting full HP versus full HP, and turns out my opponent is going to stay in, which is fine because my Iron Head will easily flinch him, since I do have that Serene Grace. However, my opponent does have the Weakness Policy, so that raises his attack, and however, he does not get flinched, so he pulls up 2 Calm Minds and he gets a Weakness Policy, but unfortunately, it only does half, and even less with half thanks to my leftovers, because I am Jirachi. I'll eat up anything. I'll eat up a +4, what you call it, +4? Is it +4? No, it's like +3, +3, 2.5, it's like +3, yeah, it's like a +3 Moonblast, and eat it really nicely and finish off. So, he does switch into the Noivern, and I do have Protect. This is my first time using Protect. My opponent obviously He went for the flamethrower, so now I know he is stuck onto Choice Specs flamethrower, so I'm gonna switch out. But obviously my opponent knows that too. He doesn't want to get stuck onto flamethrower, so he's gonna switch out. He goes into his Sableye. I'm a little bit scared of Sableyes because I have my own Sableye and they do work in UU battle, even OU battle, even Uber's battle. They're just awesome. I switched into my own Zubat because I wanted to eat up the flamethrower from his Noivern and just retaliate. But turns out this thing I frisked, it has Iron Ball, which I thought was really weird until he used Trick. So I am one slow as fuck Noivern now. So I hit him up with my Life Orb, Draco Meteor. I'm sorry, it's not even Life Orb. That's why this Sableye does live. Had I still have my Life Orb, he would not have lived that Draco Meteor. But that was all part of his plan. I went for a taunt now, so that you know, because I knew he was going to go for the Prankster Recover, so that gives me a free turn to just go for the taunt. So he can't really do anything to me, so he has to attack me. So it turns out his attacking move is Knock Off. So we know that he has Knock Off, and I'm kind of glad I brought up my Galvantula because I don't really give two shits if he knocked off my Focus Sash, honestly, because it's just Focus Sash. So he's going to send out his own Galvantula. It's going to get caught by Sticky Web, so I am now winning the speed ties, so I can safely gamble. I'm gonna hit him up with my best attack, the Thunder, and it nearly takes him out, but I am faster than it. However, he does pack the Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch on Galvantula. It does work, but unfortunately for him, it does not finish me off, so I did not want to give him the switch priority, so instead of using Volt Switch, I just killed him straight with the Bug Buzz. So he's gonna switch into the Noivern now, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna let my Galvantula fodder off, but more importantly, just gonna see what my opponent is stuck into. So he's gonna stuck into Hurricane. Great, really awesome. He's adamant about staying in, really adamant, because I'm just gonna go straight for the Wish, and his Hurricanes are obviously not doing too much, so if he wants to stay in, that's great. He needs to land every single Hurricane, and he needs to get Confusion, and I need to hit myself in like every time in Confusion in order for his Noivern to beat my Jirachi. So he does keep going for Hurricane, and he's not missing. He's not missing a single Hurricane. This is why I mentioned earlier, this is the most bizarre fight I've ever had. This Noivern has not missed a single Hurricane. If it was my Noivern, I'd miss every single Hurricane by now. So he goes for his like 5th or 6th Hurricane in this whole game, and he lands it yet again. And of course he gets a nice fat Confusion. And that's not good, ladies and gentlemen, because now he does have the advantage. And of course I hit myself every single time. Every single time. Ever. And not to mention, I don't know if this Jirachi is like carrying Serene Grace or not, because my Iron Heads and Body Slams are not paralyzing or flinching. Really strange, and he gets a nice critical. This is crazy. Right now, I have to pull up my Wish, and my Jirachi is sitting at really low HP, so he has to land his next Hurricane to kill me. But I do have Protect, but of course, naturally, luckily I do snap out of Confusion, so that was really sweet. Had I hit myself in Confusion, my opponent obviously would have landed his Hurricane, because he lands all of his Hurricanes and probably killed my Jirachi. So glad I snapped out of Confusion right at that moment. So now he knows he can't rely purely on luck for this battle, so he's gonna have to switch out. Kinda wish I brought some Stealth Blockers now, because his Noivern is just switching out back and forth. So out comes the Banette, and I'm a little bit scared. I'm actually a little bit scared. I don't know what this thing can do. Banette has huge attack, yet it has an arsenal of like just amazing non-attacking moves, non-damaging moves. So I don't want to get Will-O-Wisp, or I don't want to get taunted. I don't know what to do, honestly. I'm just gonna have to switch out because my Jirachi needs to live. It's a Noivern counter basically. So he does Mega Evolve, of course, and he is going to go straight for the Dragon Shadow Claw, and is going to do a butt ton because he has massive attack. But luckily my Wish does activate, and it heals me all back to full. I'm going to go for a Substitute just in case he, you know, does go for another attack, or I mean not another attack, like a Will-O-Wisp or something. I don't get Will-O-Wisp, but turns out he's just going to stay and go for Shadow Claw, so really scary here. I could just kind of like, fuck around and just keep using Substitute until he starts using Will-O-Wisp or just, Taunt or Disable, whatever. But I'm just gonna go straight for the Will-O-Wisp because his attacks are way too buff right now. So, turns out he has Disable, which is not too rare either, and it disables my Will-O-Wisp, but honestly, that's fine because I just landed my Will-O-Wisp, so nothing can be better than this right now. If he disable my Recover or even my Substitute, that would have been a big problem. So now I'm gonna go behind my sub, and he's gonna go for a Gunk Shot, surprisingly. Not really sure why, because I eat it up because it's not very effective, and obviously he is burned. Even despite Banette's amazing attack, he cannot break my sub. So yeah, he's losing a little bit of health, and naturally he's gonna have to switch out, which is great because I'm still comfortably behind the Substitute, and he's gonna bring out the Noivern. And we already know from the very first battle that this Noivern does not have Frisk, and if this Noivern does not have Frisk, it has the Infiltrator. And to my viewers, if you guys don't know what Infiltrator does, it basically negates any Substitute and just attacks straight at you. So I don't want to get hit by any, buff attack. I'm expecting a Draco Meteor or Hurricane, but he predicts that really nicely and goes for Flamethrower. So of course I don't eat it as well. It is a choice specs Flamethrower, however I still live it. Thank you, Jirachi. Jirachi, you're just so good in this battle. Can't stress that enough. It's amazing and a little bit shocking to see that Jirachi is in UU, honestly. I mean, Weavile is in Borderline, but somehow Jirachi is in UU. That's just ridiculous. So I'm gonna have to switch out now after using Protect, just to stall out and grab more leftovers. I'm gonna go into my own Noivern. I can eat up really nicely, even if it is choice specs. And turns out he lands another crit, so his other Flamethrower, his next Flamethrower can easily kill me, and I am slower than him because I am carrying the Iron Ball. But turns out he's gonna switch out. Not really sure why. He could have stayed in, outspeed me, and just kill me with another Flamethrower. But I guess he didn't want to take that bet. There was a small chance that he couldn't kill, I guess. But yeah, after that critical, I'm not sitting too well. So I stayed in, honestly. My Noivern was ready to die, but he switched out. This is really great because this Banette does not take the Draco Meteor as well as he expected, and he gets burned, and I'm so glad he got burned. So glad. Banette can be so problematic. I'm so glad this... yeah, so now he decides to stay in and goes for a Flamethrower, which he could have done, earlier, but yeah, unfortunately, my Noivern does go down, but honestly, he was carrying the Iron Ball already, so... It wasn't doing too well. I'm going to send out to my Donphan. I'm going to go straight for the very obvious Ice Shard. My opponent knows that. My opponent knows quite a lot. So we cannot underestimate my opponent here. And obviously the Sableye would eat it up really nicely. Now he's below half. And I know he's going to go for a Recover. That's why I decided to stay in and just go for an Earthquake. Just to see how much I can do, honestly. So we know this Sableye has the Substitute. Not Substitute, sorry. He has the Recover, has a Knockoff, and possibly, yeah, Knockoff and Recover. I think that's all we know. Yeah, so we still don't know if this opponent's Sableye has Will-O-Wisp. But he did step on Sticky Web, so my Prankster will outspeed his Prankster. I'm gonna go for a Substitute, just in case he wants to burn me or any of that bullshit. So he is going to go straight for a Taunt. So now we know he has Knockoff, Taunt, and Recover. So still don't know if he has Will-O-Wisp. Kind of scary here. Oh, and Trick. That's right. So he has Trick. That's right. He tricked my Noivern. So he actually doesn't have Will-O-Wisp anymore. So kind of, relieved to know that he doesn't have the Will-O-Wisp. So I'm going to go straight for the Nightshade because he taunted me. I can't do shit. So sometimes I do wish I run Taunt, but honestly, I like Substitute just a little bit over Taunt on my Sableye. It turns out really well. So, I could stay in, but, I see why not. And I know, I can smell it a mile away. He's gonna go for a Trick. He wants my leftovers. He wants it. He wants to exchange. He wants to get rid of his Life Orb. And, I'm not taking any of that shit. I'm gonna switch into my Donphan. And why did I switch into my Donphan? Because my Donphan is carrying the Assault Vest, so... Now he's carrying the Assault Vest, so he can't do any priority moves. He has to go straight for the attacking move, and naturally I do outspeed him, so that was an amazing switch there. Had I not switched into Donphan, he would still probably have a Sableye, so my opponent is down to his last 2 Pokemon now, his Weavile and Noivern. And here, honestly, I could have just let my Donphan die, but then I thought, you know, I'm just gonna send out my Cloyster, and my Cloyster will outspeed this Weavile. And so I wanted to Shell Smash, but there was really no point to Shell Smash, because if I Shell Smash, he will just go for a low kick or Brick Break and just destroy my Cloyster. I want to go for Shell Smash too, so I can outspeed the Noivern, and you know, but you know what, it's all good. At least Cloyster killed something. So now my opponent sends out his final and last Pokemon, his Noivern, and any of his attacks will kill me, even the Flamethrower. But he goes for a Hurricane, and of course he lands it. Of course, this is his like 11th Hurricane, and he lands it. I've never in my whole life, my whole years of playing Pokemon, have I ever encountered such accuracy on a Pokemon. Such distinctive accuracy on this Noivern. And I sent out my Noivern, Horton, and of course finish off this Noivern with that Ice Shard. So thank you, Josh. That was an amazing battle. I couldn't ask for an even better battle. So thank you so much. That Noivern did so much work on his team, and that Sableye was pretty freaking amazing. So you got to give a huge thumbs up to my man Josh, man. He's like the true winner here, man, with those amazing accuracy. So thank you guys for watching such an amazing battle. If you guys like this battle, be sure to leave that awesome like it for Josh. Thanks for watching, guys.